Yo, yo, yo. Hope you're having a good day on this great Wednesday, I'm pretty sure. Yep. It's gonna be raining, so if you're going outside, do wear an umbrella. Do take an umbrella. Uh, Apparently, Ubisoft, parasite of games, is getting sued by their ex uh Assassin's Creed Shadows, the one in Japan. The lead developer, or well, someone who led the project. I'm not gonna lie, I don't see how you can sue them with the amount of fuck ups you did there. Like the game wasn't even out, and all the controversy that you ignited just by saying it's historically accurate. Then, having people disprove you. Not to mention just shitty game design, shitty like moves. Like after the day the game came out, I swear I haven't heard anything of it until now. Like the game came out, everyone talked shit. That's it.
You guys remember?
So honestly, like I don't see how you can sue them. I feel like you deserve to get fired after that a catastrophic failure.
I told you that
Oh, actually, sorry for pausing so much. Weren't there rumors that if Assassin's Creed Shadows failed or flopped, that they were going to be getting bought out by like Tencent or a Chinese company? Like that's how bad they were during that whole phase. Like their stocks were in the single digits, I'm pretty sure, or in the pennies. Like it was
the former head
like, dude, I don't see how you can say, "Oh no, I deserve my job." Dude,
of like all Assassin's Creed stuff was booped out and left the company. He was a guy named Marc Alexis Cotier. Okay,
haven't
I've
heard of this guy.
don't think I've ever directly spoken to him. He was there at the studio when I was there for AC Shadows. He was walking around and he's like in the background whenever we were doing like a group thing. So he was watching closely. But
Oh, did they do the thing where they invite like content creators and take them to like Disneyland on rides, plane rides, all that, to like give them a positive review of like their interaction with Assassin's Creed Shadows, even though they didn't play the game exactly? You know what I mean?
he was previously in charge of like all
Did they do
Assassin's
that?
Creed stuff. Okay, like franchise bigwig, big dude. Like he was a very important person in the hierarchy. His tenure in that position, I mean, he's been at Ubisoft for like 2 decades, but his tenure started, I believe, in 2021, give or take a year. I think it was 2020 or 2021, but he was basically the guy behind the Infinity Hub. He was the guy that had the vision for the next decade, basically, of AC.
2021 wasn't the first one, right? Like the Assassin's Creed franchise came in like 2014 or somewhere around there. Because I remember playing it on my PSP when I was younger. So it should be around there, right?
So his big push seems to have been the Infinity Hub, creating games under one umbrella. I personally don't like the vision, but his other thing, and the one thing I do agree with him on that I think will potentially help, is that his vision was, instead of trying to make an everything game every like 3 years, his goal was to instead have smaller experiences that give like much
A smaller, unique experience. If that's what he's gonna say, I completely agree. If you make an everything game, all you're doing is making nothing. Because nothing stands out. You want to play like an action game? Why would you play Assassin's Creed? There's a way better action games. You want to play a shooter? There's better shooters. You want to play an exploration game? There's better. Because you didn't pick something to be good at, and instead wanted to be like okay at everything. There's no real reason to log into Assassin's Creed and play it.
more effort for particular niches. So instead of having AC Valhalla that tries to satisfy the old school fans, and then the live service
Yeah.
fans, and the RPG fans, and the story fans.
Also, I feel like maybe I'm wrong here, but I feel like when it comes to gamers and most not even gamers, most people when it comes to entertainment, they don't really have that big of an umbrella. Like there's like clear number one thing they love, whether that be horror, comedy, uh, romance, action. I will say there's no real number two, and there's a lot of number threes. You know what I mean? So just because you have a lot of it doesn't mean it's good enough for people.
And the stealth fans.
I hope I explained that correctly.
Instead of trying to have one game that makes everybody happy, and then as a result you only make like 70% of them happy, or
Not
like,
even
you know,
70.
instead of trying to do everything, so you only do things to like a C plus level. His goal was to have smaller games that can do things at a B plus or an A minus or an A plus level. So you have a game that's just dedicated to stealth, and then you have a game that's just dedicated to the RPG. Then you have a multiplayer game that's just dedicated to keeping live service fans happy, and that's kind of
Yeah,
part of his goal. And I think that that will work way better than trying to
that's better
turn
than
like every
whatever
game
that
into
was with
Red
the
Dead,
Assassin's Creed
Fortnite, Witcher
Shadows.
3, Assassin's Creed, Pong. You know, it just doesn't work. But why am I talking about him? Why did I bring him up? Well, there's news. There's news. He was booted out of his role in the
Yeah.
wake of the Vantage establishment. Basically, Ubisoft received a bunch of cash from Tencent. Tencent formed with Ubisoft a new company called Vantage Studios. So you have
Oh, so this did happen. Okay, so they did basically get bought out, right?
Ubisoft and
To a certain
Vantage
extent.
Studios. Vantage Studios is owned by Ubisoft. They own about 40 or 75% of it. Tencent owns 25%. It's
Sure.
technically outside of Ubisoft, though. Vantage licenses and has the rights to all of Assassin's Creed, Rainbow Six, and Far Cry that they licensed from Ubisoft. Okay, so they're
Okay.
technically outside, but they have all of the rights to that. And as a result,
True.
also all of the
They
studios,
have all the rights. Yeah.
specifically like Montreal, Quebec. I don't think Bordeaux is technically inside Vantage Studios, but a lot of those big guys, I think Ubisoft Massive, I don't think is. There's a bunch of those big guys that are tacked in there, right? When they formed Vantage Studios, they restructured a bunch of stuff, and they basically went to Marc-Alexis Cotier and offered him a new position, and he left. That's all we knew about it. With this,
Okay, he
it's
left.
been revealed, thanks to reporting from Tom
From what I've heard, he was fired. He didn't leave.
Henderson with Insider Gaming. Again, shout out them. You should have them bookmarked. They have an app on like your phone you can get for the latest gaming news. Highly recommend it. They do fantastic work. But
I'm good.
he reported this out. Former Assassin's Creed boss is suing Ubisoft for $1.3 million. The former Assassin's Creed boss, Marc-Alexis Cotier, has filed a claim with
Quebec.
Superior Court of Quebec for a total of $1.3 million in compensation and damages against Ubisoft. The file comes months after Ubisoft announced that Marc-Alexis Cotier left the company voluntarily, a claim which Cotier later denied, stating he was asked to step aside from the company. Remember when all this happened?
Again, I feel like being told to step aside after the whole like Shadows fiasco is fair. Like the way that was handled was complete garbage, no? Like people hated the game before it even came out. People hated the people behind the game. People hate like there's nothing about the game that people liked. Like the developers, the social media guys, the music, the art, like they hated everything, I feel like.
We were not clear. Is this that he was fired, or is it that they
Just
offered him a
because it
new
was
role
handled
but with like a pay
awful.
cut so he left, or did they tell him you're not going to be able to, like, we're taking the franchise in this direction, and as a matter of principle he sat down? Like we just don't know. But now he's claiming that he was basically pushed out. In a lengthy LinkedIn post, he said, "Many of you have expressed surprise that I would choose to leave Assassin's Creed after so many years, especially given the passion I still hold for it. The truth is simple.
Yeah, the
I did
passion,
not
for
make
sure.
that choice." He continued later, "But I also owe it to my teams, past and present, to say this plainly. I did not walk away. I stayed at my post."
Also, if his whole like goal was for like each game to have like a specific thing, there's been there's been like 4 or 5 games, right, that have released since 2021 or whatever, since he got here. No? or 2016. None of those games had anything like special, right? Like they all came out, people talked about it for like the first day or two, then they all like vanished into silence.
Until Ubisoft asked me to step aside. A new
It's
report
not like Shadows was the only like failure, I feel like.
from CBC Radio Canada states that he is now taking Ubisoft to court, claiming $1.3 million.
You know, sorry for pausing so much. I feel like Assassin's Creed has the same like problem, or maybe not, maybe it's not a problem, but it's the same like audience that like NBA 2K, COD, Battlefield, like all these games have, where fans will just play the newest game, even if it's bad. So so they can't really, no, they can, but they don't really invest a lot into making the game actually good because they know people are gonna buy it. It's like the Pokemon and like the newest Pokemon game. It was shit. They spent like almost nothing on the game, but they made like what, like 5x or 10x the money back.
And severance pay and moral damages. This must be a Canadian thing. Moral damages? Like what? According to the report, Cotier.
I'm pretty sure there's also something similar in here in America, but it's not moral, it's emotional damages or something like that, right?
Was told during a management meeting in late summer of 2025 that Ubisoft's new subsidiary with Tencent was looking to find a quote head of franchise, which was a position he was not offered. Instead, he was offered the position of head of production,
Okay.
which would have seen him reporting to someone else. So he was previously the guy. Now he'd be.
He was the guy, he fucked up, he he wasted millions of dollars, so he was demoted, which makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. Let's be honest, as the guy, he wasn't doing much either way, right? Like if we look at all the Assassin's Creed games until now, let's be honest, was he making a difference? Was he making them good? No. So, like sure, he got demoted. Unlucky.
Someone reporting to the guy. Right? The lawsuit states that in September, the position to lead a creative house with abstract outlines was offered. After lengthy negotiations, Ubisoft reportedly asked him to make a decision on the changes, to which Cote formally demanded that the company pay him severance. In response, Ubisoft reportedly told him to not show up for work as planned on October 13th and to continue his reflection period until the company responds to his formal notice. The next day, Ubisoft announced via press release and internal emails that he was leaving his position voluntarily to explore new opportunities.
Wait. I mean, technically, if he demanded that the company pay him severance, that in a way is him quitting, no? Like he did quit himself. Like he was offered another position. He didn't want that position, so he quit, right? Or am I getting this wrong? Because I was gonna say, what the fuck? They just lied about him leaving voluntarily. But no, he kind of did leave voluntarily, right?
And internal emails that he was leaving his position voluntarily to explore new opportunities. That sounds messy, dude. The term for this lawsuit, or this type of lawsuit, it's basically like when a company tries to manipulate you into quitting
What is this
so
guy
that they don't have
talking
to pay
about?
you severance. That in many countries is
Sorry.
quitting so that they don't have, basically like when a company tries to manipulate you into quitting so that they don't have to pay you severance.
Yeah, this happens a lot.
That in many
I think it's referred to black companies or black corporations or something like that, right?
countries is considered illegal because it's a way of them manipulating you into quitting so they don't have to pay you severance or any of the contractual obligations that they have. It's kind of a big no-no. So an example would be if I had a contract with Jacob to be my editor and it said, hey, if I
Okay, if they have a contract and they didn't pay him severance, he's completely in the right to sue them, by the way.
hire you, I have to pay you 3 months or 6 months salary, right? While you look for a new job.
Yeah.
But I'm like, ooh, I don't want to pay that. So I go and I tell Jacob, hey, I'm going to now give you a new position where you are going to be working out of a coat closet, and you're going to also have 18-hour days.
Okay, I feel like lead of production doesn't sound like a bad job, right? Like I feel like it's not that big of a deal. He kind of just didn't want. Actually, I don't know the contract. Maybe the contract was a dog shit, right? Maybe.
And you
I won't
also,
talk
like,
about
I
it then.
assign him something really monotonous. I put a manager above him that's just like super toxic and is super oppressive, basically pushing him to quit. It's basically an indirect way of firing. It's like the toxic thing that people do in high school when they don't want to be the bad guy to break up with someone, so
Yeah.
they just stop responding to texts to get them to break up with them, so they're not the bad guy. That's basically what they were allegedly doing here, right? Sounds like his current studio. um It's a bedroom. It's a bedroom. Yeah, ghosting. So basically, the exact term, it's like firing by, let's see, what is it? What is that? Constructive discharge. That's what it's called.
Constructive
It does
dismissal.
sound like a sexual thing. It's not, I swear to God. Constructive discharge or dismissal in employment
Okay.
occurs when an employer makes working conditions so intolerable or hostile that a reasonable person would feel.
But is that what's happening? Because I didn't read anything about that happening. Like he just got demoted to a head of production, right? Like, can we get more details on what that means exactly? Because I feel like we're overdoing it. Like I hate Ubisoft, but this is a bit of an unfair like thing to
Forced to quit, making the
just
resignation
put
legally
on them,
treated
no?
as if the employee were fired, often allowing for wrongful termination claims despite the employee resigning. It's not a direct firing, but a forced resignation due to severe changes in terms, harassment, or pressure, effectively making the termination involuntary. That's what
Yeah,
he's
that's
claiming
fucked.
happened. So Ubisoft is saying, no, you quit. You don't get your severance and stuff. You quit. He's saying you forced me to quit, and any reasonable person would have quit, which makes it effectively firing. That you fired me effectively.
Yeah, I mean, I guess again they need to like show the contract, the working conditions. I mean, they're probably not gonna show it if he's getting sued, right? That's gonna be in the court. Either way, I mean, I haven't seen anything that says that happened, right?
That's his claim. This is going to be tough, I think, to prove in a court, because obviously, like, how do you determine what a reasonable person would do? It's basically going to come down to what a judge decides is
Yeah.
reasonable based on the letter of the law in Quebec. My guess is this is just one of those things they settle. They probably throw him $500,000. He just goes away. They have him sign an NDA. He can never
Yeah,
talk
just
about Assassin's Creed
pay him
again,
and
and he
forget
just
about
moves
him.
on with his life. That's typically how this type of thing works,
Yep.
especially in like high profile situations, right? But I think it's what's particularly interesting is that Ubisoft tried very hard to get him a role where he was not doing what he was before. They were trying very hard to push.
Because you see the new game, you see the previous games, and you see that someone leading the game direction isn't really doing well, right? Like I don't want to be that guy, but Shadows was a flop. If I'm not wrong, which one was the other one? The other one was like in the desert, but at the end there was like a futuristic like a box or something, or like a ship. Because I remember watching a Spanish streamer, Illo Juan, beat it. Fuck, what was the name? It was in like a desert city or whatever. Well, that one was also shit from what I saw. There was the one with the horse. I saw like one person playing that, talking about that, so I'm guessing that was also shit. Like, there's obviously something wrong with the people leading them, right? Leading the game direction. So it makes sense that they're demoting him.
him
right?
out into a different role where, as you can see, they offered him things like creative house. So he would lead a creative house with abstract outlines. So he'd be in charge of a studio or a team doing stuff, probably just
That sounds perfectly fine, no?
broad Assassin's Creed creative stuff. So, but he didn't
That again, that sounds fine.
want to
I don't
do
want to be
that. He
that
wanted to be
guy,
in
but
charge of a lot of stuff for the franchise. And this was effectively like a major demotion. So he's like, and this is also
yeah,
part of his claim, right? Is that he can go in and say, hey, if I'm being paid, I don't know how much he was making, but if maybe he's like, I'm getting paid $300,000 a year and I'm in charge of this
probably
whole
more.
team, and you're offering me a new position where I get paid 100,000 and I'm in charge of 3 people. That is such a major demotion that it's effectively like you're firing me, you know? And if you change the terms and you say, hey, if you're working in retail and you're paid $20 an hour, and then you're
See, look, this guy is saying exactly what I said. What he was doing was clearly not working, so he had to step down. Honestly, fuck Ubisoft, parasites, pay-to-win garbage. But I I don't know, man. 10 minutes into the video, I kinda can't see what they're doing wrong here.
your boss
Fuck them.
comes to you and says, hey,
Fuck the
listen,
guy.
I've got a job for you. You can't keep doing the job you're doing now, but I can offer you a job paying you $7 an hour. They're basically firing you because no reasonable person would agree to those terms, right? That's what he's claiming went down. Like I said, I think that they'll settle, but what I find just so interesting is that they, whatever it is, they really did not want him in that big important role. Now, as I've told you guys before, I do not.
That's obvious, man. Again, I keep repeating myself. I won't repeat myself. But, you know, it's obvious they didn't want him there after all the flops that came out with him as the leader.
Not have a lot of confidence in the new leadership of Assassin's Creed. The new guy, Charlie Guillemot, is the son of the CEO, and he, man, just again, whenever I need to explain why I'm not confident, the new co-CEO, he is in charge of all Assassin's Creed, all Rainbow Six, and all Far Cry. His last project before he became
Gacha, uh, gambling game, NBA 2K. NBA is the basketball one, right? What's the football one? Oh, that one. Let's see, COD maybe?
CEO of this multi-billion-dollar
All
venture
garbage
was
games.
Unagi. You'll see his name listed at the very bottom. This is him, Charlie Guillemot. Okay, what is this?
What?
It was founded by ex-Ubisoft execs. They conveniently don't mention that
He's the son of the current owner or something, I'm guessing,
one of
right?
those is the son of the CEO. But it was founded in 2022. Since then, we've shipped 4 Web3 games, launched an anime.
Web3 is a scam. Web3 doesn't exist, so they basically have shipped nothing. By the way, erase this. An anime brand. I have never heard of this anime brand. This looks like AI. So erase this. Token-based economy. I haven't heard of you at all. So erase this. They haven't done
Brand and developed a token-based economy.
They haven't
It
done
is
anything.
basically an AI Web3 NFT buzzword simulator.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
I think what they did is they created a platform where you can have an AI character that just like stands, and then you can collect NFT things for them, and they tried to
There's okay. There's like $2 Steam like games that do this. There's like one with a duck that you just have a duck like around here. Another one, and one with like an anime character in like your keyboard or something. Like this is not new. This is so useless actually.
basically make Facebook and Instagram but for NFTs, which, if that sounds insane, yeah. Like I've seen a lot of crypto bros.
If they're just trying to put as many like buzzwords to get as many of the dumb guys who like invest in NFTs and all that, right? It's obviously that.
Slop, and this is a lot for me. you know? But this is like the guy that's now in charge of Far Cry Rainbow and Assassin's Creed. This was
Is this worse than like what I said before, which is football? Whatever. Which is working in other shitty like games? Because I feel like this is worse.
something he
I
spent
feel
years doing and that he was really proud of. Okay. So forgive me for being skeptical. If he thought this was good, woof. Woof. Okay. And now he's in charge of all of this stuff. Now, there's two ways this
wait. Are we sure this is the same person? He looks completely different.
could go. Either he's got some like amazing vision and he's like,
Nope.
I know what I'm going to do. NFTs for everybody. Assassin's Creed, you get an NFT and you get an AI chatbot.
The problem with this is the moment you're the owner's son, it doesn't matter what you do. You're always just gonna be seen as someone who got their job through connections. And it doesn't like again, it doesn't matter what you do. People are just gonna say it was someone else who did it, and you were just there.
Agent, anime, whatever the hell. And then you get that. Maybe that's what he's going to do. The other possibility, which I personally really, really hope is the case, is that this is just literally one of those things. Like, I knew a rich kid in high school where his dad wanted him to like get off drugs because he was experimenting with like cocaine and stuff. So his dad
NFT, NFTs, and all that shit compared to cocaine. Honestly, I agree. It pretty much is cocaine and drugs. Yeah, you got to be on drugs to believe in that. Yeah, I
bought
agree.
like a car dealership and just let him go and work on like sports cars and upgrade them and mess with them, and like the business lost money, but it was basically just his way of keeping his son off drugs. Honestly, fair play. If that's what you need to do to keep your son off drugs, as a father, I can respect.
Ubi has potential. I got the Prince of Persia game on sale over the holidays, and it's pretty darn good. I saw the Prince of Persia game. It looked fine. I think the Prince of Persia game got a lot of hate for no reason, really.
That, I guess. But it was never about the business. It was about just keeping him off drugs. And the other guy, a guy named Christophe Drenet, he will now be in charge and he'll actually do all of the work. And if you don't know Christophe Drenet,
Okay.
he's been on like executive vice president, producer, managing director on a ton of stuff like AC Valhalla, going all the way down to like
Shadows.
Far Cry Primal.
Okay, let's just look. This was a failure, obviously. Skull and Bones, the first quadruple A game, and this was obviously a failure, by the way. Like, the only people I saw playing this had hashtag ad in their title. I've never even heard of Roller Champions, but I'm guessing it was a failure. Assassin's Creed Nexus VR. It being on VR means that I would say investing more than a million or two makes it a flop. Just because VR doesn't have that big of an audience. Far Cry 6, I liked it, but I think people didn't like it. Tom Clancy's Extraction. This was the zombie one. I think people played this one, but this one was almost a story game. Like, it wasn't an online game, right? So I'm not really sure about this one. Could have been a flop, could have been a success. This was a flop, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this wasn't only a flop. I'm pretty sure they refunded and took this one down in like a couple weeks. It was like a Concord situation. Valhalla, people kind of liked this one. I feel like Valhalla kind of like just split the fan base. Like you either really liked it or you didn't. Watchdog Legions. This isn't Watch Dogs 2, right? Because I know Watch Dogs 2, people didn't like it. That's about it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Watch Dogs 2.
For Honor, good game. Honestly, incredible game. It's shit now though.
He's listed on, I mean, he's been around forever. So he certainly understands the role and has been involved for a long time. I mean, this guy
Wait. NSFW? What? Why does it say NSFW?
is like
And why is this called Moby Games? If you didn't know, there was a whale called Moby Dick, right? Okay, just
accomplished.
saying.
Okay, going all the way back to Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell for the GameCube. Okay, maybe he's just gonna sit in the corner office getting massages all day and eating Twinkies, and Christoph will do all of the work. That's what I'm personally hoping
Sounds like
for.
the
That's
best
what I'm personally hoping
possible
for. That he
option.
just doesn't do anything. Because I'm gonna be real, and this is what I said in my recent video. Like literally, my candle is probably more qualified to be CEO of Vantage Studios because at least this
Doesn't
didn't
make shitty
an
decisions.
AI NFT anime crypto brand. I find that disqualifying. Like if I find out that you did that, you're not getting.
But I still can't believe an AI, NFT, anime, crypto, whatever. How how can you think of doing that? Like I can't believe
Getting the
whatever.
job anymore. This didn't.
Yeah.
So I feel it's more qualified. You know, don't drink it, please. No, I wouldn't drink a qualified candidate like this. I have so little confidence with this that I it's hard to put into words.
What was
So
that, by the way? Is this a guayaba? Is that how you say it in English? Because in Spanish it's guayaba. Guayaba, maybe? Because that's what it looks like with the dark color,
my point
red
with
color.
all of this is that for one, the lawsuit's happening, and I think that it's probably going to settle out of court, and then
Probably.
Mark will go away, and you probably will never hear from him.
If there's even a lawsuit, by the way. Because there might not even be a lawsuit. This might just get thrown out.
Again, because part of the terms is going to be that he can never talk about AC or Ubisoft or anything ever again. So I think this will settle. He'll get a bag. He'll go away. Ubisoft will be happy. They can move on. But what I find fascinating is that they tried for months to get him out. And it seemed to me like his direction was very friendly to Ubisoft. His goal for Assassin's Creed Shadows and for Hexe and for everything else they're doing was seemingly in line with what Ubisoft wanted to do for the rest of their stuff. Like it was big picture, live service, make these games like multiplayer games that.
It doesn't matter if his goal was aligned with theirs if he failed at delivering. It's that simple. It's like let's say my goal is to end the world hunger, right? So that's a good goal. But I don't build farms. I don't donate to the homeless. I don't do anything. It's like, okay, I have a goal, but I'm not doing anything to make that goal happen. You know what I mean?
You can monetize long term.
Actually, in this case, it's worse because he's getting money and he's wasting that money. So instead of let's say instead of donating to the homeless, I'm basically getting the money and burning it just to keep myself hot during the cold season.
Like that was his big push, the AC Infinity Hub, where you have one launcher for all of the Assassin's Creed games. That was his vision.
Someone in chat said he's probably gonna make his own studio. I doubt it. People like this are usually gonna do what Bobby Kotick or whatever, the Blizzard CEO or whatever his name was. They're just gonna move into another company with get a high status and just keep doing what they always did.
And that was his baby, and they wanted desperately to get rid of him. So that tells me that
I really do doubt he's gonna start his own studio.
Want to take it in a new direction. And the direction could be much better, old school Ubisoft. They could get back on their horse and they could start, putting out AC2s again, or AC Black Flags
Not
again,
happening.
which is possible. I mean, again, we've seen companies that go through a crazy rut and then come out and start dropping Game of the Year contenders after they figure their crap out. It's possible.
For sure,
It's not incredibly likely, but it's
for
possible.
Sure.
But the reason I bring up this guy is because he's the one that's now in charge. And
if Ubisoft, right? It's Ubisoft. Releases a game of the year this year, I'll shave my head. There, I said I'll shave my head. I don't care. That's how little I believe they're gonna change.
Literally, when he became in charge is when they started pushing him out. And knowing his judgment,
To be
it
fair,
makes
games do take multiple years. Yeah, games do take multiple years, so I should say if the next Assassin's Creed is good, I'll shave my head. But I'm not gonna say that. Come on.
me feel like there's a chance he has a vision, which terrifies me because his visions for other stuff I have found lacking. Okay.
Yep.
So we'll see where it goes. But what we do know effectively is that they're taking Assassin's Creed in a new direction. That direction might be way better. It might also end up being,
To be fair, the only like good possible like outcome is that he uses his AI experience, if he has any, by the way, to add to make a what they call NPCs more interactable instead of just pre-programmed like videos or whatever. They just repeat the same line. That's like really the only thing he can probably like do a positive on. And even then, it's like, can he? You know what I mean?
just this. Man.
Because like I don't know if he's gonna show it down here. It said they had like 200 plus employees. So it's like, did he make it whatever this is, or did he just hire people to make it? You know what I mean?
I said this at the end of my video on the main channel. I was like, guys, if you,
By the
I've
way, I think it's incredibly dog shit that these guys don't move. They should at least have like some wind effect coming up and down to give the impression that they're going down or like falling, right? Same with the clouds. I don't know. I feel like it's just shitty that they're kind of just pasted there.
I said this at the end of my video on the main.
And here, you can't. Why even include another like strip here? You can't see shit. Like, what is this? I can't see his face here. I couldn't see it here or here.
Channel. I was like, guys, if you add
Like, it's so badly designed.
NFT, crypto bro, Web3 crap to Assassin's Creed, to Far
Like, look at it. At no point can you see the full picture without anything covering it. It's so dog shit. Same for this one. Actually, maybe here there's enough space.
Cry, to Rainbow Six. If you
Nope.
thought the crap you got for Shadows was bad, dude, the weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth will be generational. Like, you cannot even begin to fathom how insane that would be. It would be good for my business. I have so many videos I could make about how stupid that is. But as a fan of Assassin's Creed, somebody that grew up playing these games, I'm like, guys, don't. Don't, because that's something I don't think it could survive. I think that would send the brand into like such a nosedive that it would be very, very difficult to ever recover. Like, very difficult.
But I'm not gonna lie, I don't see this working. Like, I don't think that he has like any real grounds for suing them, right? He's kind of just doing this hoping that they're gonna like settle out of court, I'm guessing. As for this guy, wherever he is, the CEO's slash owner's son, I don't see anything good coming out of it. Honestly, I feel like Ubisoft for a while now has been on a timer until they collapse. Right? You know what? I'm gonna predict it. 2028 or 2030. Ubisoft is either shut down, they sell other IPs to like Tencent or some other company, or they do a complete 180, they fire everyone and start over. I said it. Hey. Anyways, this is gonna be the end for the video. Hope you guys liked it. I'm gonna leave the link in the description in case you wanna watch this. Give it a like and subscribe. Peace.